Me and my wife. Come on.
Me and my wife.
Chill.
Me and my wife.
Come on.
Me and my wife.
What up, 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 world? It's your boy Reggie Regg. I got my main man to my left.
Hey, my name is Marv.
Okay.
Hey, my name is Marv.
You know his name. You know his name. His name is
Marv.
His name is Marv. Marv.
Hey.
Why you love getting on the beat?
I love
getting in the episode. You love getting on the beat. He think he a rapper. He really think you're right. Hey, you know what? Like we said a couple podcasts ago, we're gonna put an album out.
We are gonna put.
We're gonna put an album out, man. We're gonna show the world, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm very musically gifted. You know what I mean?
Do you now?
I do. That's one thing, you know, before we really get into things, I had a musical love at a young age.
Okay.
And you know what really tore me? I think they should never give kids like that life decision. Like they tell you, either you're going to be in the band or you play sports. And if you play sports, you can never be in the band again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's too much stress on a kid because I love music. I wanted to play instrument.
I was in the band. I was a band kid.
I'm low key jealous. I'm low key jealous, man. I think I would like to be.
Hey, we all choose our paths.
Right, we all choose our paths.
So,
yeah, I went for the athletics. You know, like it,
I never did tell you the story about me and the football team, huh?
Oh,
Seventh grade, Kaiser Middle School. I go to the first football meeting. It wasn't really a tryout, but it was like, hey, if you're interested in
come
being
on out.
on the football team, call it out.
All right.
So I was like, yeah. So, you know, I guess they fitted us for helmets and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, seventh grade, middle school. You know,
you got a large head too, so I'm sure you had an extra large.
So I took the helmet. Thank you so much for that. I took the helmet home and I sat with it one night. For one night, I held on to this helmet.
Bind it with the helmet.
The next day, I walk into the coach's. He was our science teacher. I walk into the coach's classroom and I hand him the helmet. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't play football.
Okay.
I was having
after
doubts,
a long night of pondering,
having second thoughts. Now, within that time,
you know, and I'm gonna stop you right there because you can go. Is this gonna relate to the?
Yeah.
Okay, bring it around there.
So, anyways, I got into music. 7th grade, I tried out for the band, got in. I played clarinet for 2 years, 1 year in high school. But low key, I really wanted to be a percussionist.
Hey man, you're multi-talented, man. That's what's up. I'm low key jealous. So did you do like parades and stuff?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Hey, maybe another lifetime. But speaking of lifetimes, this lifetime, I think we got a good subject matter today.
That's right.
This is a good subject matter today.
All right.
We are discussing, and get ready to press that button because you know I want to hear it. Right. We are discussing today, is the earth flat?
Ooh. Flat earth theory.
Is this motherfucker look like a pancake?
You accidentally pressed the...
It was perfect timing.
Hey.
You got one?
Hey.
You got one?
No.
Okay.
No.
Flat Earth, man. Like this is interesting because we've had discussions about this.
Are on two totally different planes here.
Yeah, I guess you know me.
You
man.
were more persuaded.
I'm more. Again, this is how I look at a lot of things in this world. I've never been to space, right?
Okay.
Have you been to space?
I have not.
Has anybody in your immediate family been to space?
No, they have not.
Cousins, aunt, anybody? Do you know a friend of a friend that's been to space?
No. All
right, me neither. And I'm pretty sure it's a lot of us in a similar boat.
More like 99 point.
Right.
9% of the population has not been to outer space.
Space. Well, it all depends. We'll get onto this later, but it depends on how you define space, right?
But through history, we know astronauts that have gone to space.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right?
I agree with that, yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that. Now,
so wouldn't they go to space and report back what they saw?
yeah.
And don't we send satellites in space or
Take pictures and
to
stuff.
take pictures
Yeah,
and they orbit the Earth
yeah.
and they take pictures and they come back and why would someone or the government or the world invest all of that money into these satellites and technology
And
to send them into space
to lie to us.
and then to lie and say, oh, by the way, the Earth's flat. Or they're telling us the Earth is round when in actuality the Earth is flat. That's
Right.
what you're saying.
Right. Look, this is what I'm saying. Okay. I'm saying
the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Before we really get into it, right? All I'm saying is, as a man, what is Reggie's theory? Reggie's theory is I don't know. Okay, I'm man enough to sit here because people want to argue. I'm like, have you been to space? Can you go up there and you take a picture? Have you took your drone past the mesosphere and seen what this bitch really looked like? Have you? No.
No, but what
You
I'm
know what I'm
saying,
saying? But so I'm gonna counter it. All right, you tell me what you believe. What did you grow up on? And then I got my. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm not gonna sit here and say that the Earth is flat. I don't know.
Right.
I haven't been, but I'm open to the theory. I think it's possible.
Okay.
I think it's possible. That's what I believe.
Okay, so you're telling me, all right, I took, for my science in college, I took astronomy,
Okay.
all right? And every Friday night, or for extra credit, every Friday night, they would have our Professor Tom, that's his name. He said, you know, if you guys want to look through the telescope, high-powered telescope into space, and, you know, so I went one night, and I saw Saturn,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Saw the rings, all that.
All right.
It was round.
Right.
What we grew up on, what we were taught is the Earth is round.
Right.
There have been astronauts that have gone to space, on the moon, landed on the moon.
I don't believe. Yeah. I don't believe we've been on the moon.
Okay, allegedly. Okay.
Well, you know what? Let me change that because after I did a little research for this,
Okay.
right, and I stumbled upon I stumbled upon this information. Basically, it was this video. It was put out by Seeker. You know what I'm saying? A little channel on YouTube. And it goes into about, says no human has ever left the Earth's atmosphere. Right? And so
Impossible. Impossible.
You said that's impossible?
Impossible.
Now this is new scientific evidence that was released by NASA, right? In 2019. Okay.
So
let me break it down for you.
Okay.
All right.
All right, here we go.
And we'll put this, if you're listening, listen and go look this up for yourself. If you're watching, we are going to put this up on the screen. So we'll have some pictures that you can look at if you haven't, if you don't know what we're talking about. Because this is new to me. So we're going to have a couple of pictures.
Hit me with it.
So hit you. If we just know the Earth's atmosphere, right? What does it contain of, right? So we have the troposphere, right? That's what we know. That's what we go outside and we look. Because I had a.
That's where planes go, right?
Planes could go in the troposphere and the stratosphere.
Okay.
All right. So the stratosphere is the next level.
All right.
All right. After that, you got the mesosphere or the mesosphere, right? And that's
what does that have?
That's where the meteors and stuff. Meteors play around there, and they shoot around and whatnot. Now, right after the mesosphere, you got the Kármán line, right?
Okay.
So technically the Kármán line, which is only 62 miles above ground. When you really think, that's not far. That's not that far. Yeah, that make you think. Right?
Oh, what?
Right.
Okay.
Right, because they usually
Wow.
so the Kármán line. Now, the Kármán line is unofficially where space begins, technically, where the air is supposed to get thinner, right? And that's where astronauts really play around. They don't show no astronauts. So, okay, let me keep going. You got the Kármán line. Then after the Kármán line, you got the thermosphere.
Okay.
Okay. And then after that in the thermosphere, you got the exosphere, right? So there, in this new research, they're saying that the moon really is around the mesosphere / thermosphere, the thermosphere. And that's really part of the atmosphere. So really,
the moon is in our atmosphere.
It's not in the exosphere. Like, that's outer space. You know how we grew up, we're thinking like, oh, it's millions and billions.
Yeah.
Nah, research says that the moon is really hanging around in the thermosphere. So that's why I said I changed. I could say maybe we did go to the moon. You know what I mean? And that's not what this podcast is about, going to the moon. But
this podcast is about flat Earth theory. Do you believe the Earth is flat, or do you believe the Earth is round?
Right. Do you believe the Earth flat? Or now, again, my answer is I think it's possible that it's flat. Right. So
I think that there's too much evidence, and that the Earth is round.
Okay. So if that's the case, now we're saying, and I'm building my case here.
Okay.
We're saying that the Earth is in the thermosphere. Right?
Right.
All right. So now what I'm going to do for the people, I don't know if you've seen this before, Marv. Well, I know you've seen it because you was all up on my screen when I was getting my research together for this particular podcast, but it's all right.
Call me out like that?
It's all right. I'm still gonna hold my case. You know what I'm saying? I just want the people to expand their mind. I ain't saying go around tell everybody.
I watched a couple of videos myself.
Okay.
So.
All right. Second thing, there is this map. All right, floating around. And it's a flat Earth map.
Okay.
Right? Amazing, detailed flat Earth map. Look it up for yourself. For us, here it is right here on the screen. All right? Flat Earth map. Now, take a look at that, Marv. To me, that's very possible. I think that if you look at that.
So
let's explain it. Let's explain it.
So it looks like ice is around the.
So the ice represents, if we were to look at this thing, right? The ice represents Antarctica, right? And so for what we know, what we've been taught is that the North Pole is ice, right? Once you hit the Antarctica, covers.
When you go up to Canada and past Canada and past all that Greenland stuff, right?
You hit like an ice wall.
Greenland stuff. Past Greenland, you hit ice.
Iceland, right? Ice. And so
North Pole and Antarctica is in the south.
Right. So what this map is saying is that there's land that has been discovered but has not been put out to us, to the people in what we know as, our different continents: United States, South America, Africa,
so why
Canada.
is that?
And wait, let me finish. And so, I don't know if I could zoom in on this thing. Maybe we'll zoom in on it. Right. But if you can see the little black dot, right? So they're saying that you got your soul, right, which is the sun, which is what the sun was called, like in ancient time, your soul, right? And you have your set, right, and Anubis, right, which is your moon, and then some believe that we have an invisible sun. I also believe that's possible because we live in a duality place, physical and non-physical. Yeah, but that's that's a whole other episode. We'll say that for another episode. But that you hit that wall, and it's possible that there is other land out there, more resources, right? So we got that. This is the second part of my case. Now, there was a famous explorer, world famous, named Richard Byrd, right? This gentleman basically had like contracts with the government to do exploration in Antarctica, right? He had the Antarctica explorations, and we got a little loud, got a little excited. Marv's got the clip,
right?
But
so you want to play for?
We want to play, but let me explain to people who he is. This guy, if you ever seen Indiana Jones, or ever heard about Indiana Jones, that's who they based this character off of. Like, this guy was doing all the exploration. I think it was in 1933. To make sure, I'll say 1933 through like 37.
Okay,
these guys had the exploration of Antarctica, and they was asking him about like, did you guys find anything? And he said some interesting things that I feel like could easily support that map. You know what I mean? Play that for the people, Marv.
All right.
Soviet Russia, but why this interest in the bottom of the world? Nobody living down there, is there?
No, it's pretty cold. There's only one permanent resident. That's the emperor penguin. The little ones live further north.
Who is that? The little
I
ones.
tell you one reason they're interested. It's by far the most valuable, important place left in the world for science. That's why the scientific groups all over the nation are really interested. But more important than that, it has to do with the future of the nation, those to come after us, or even during your lifetime. Because it happens to be an untouched reservoir of natural resources. And, as the world shrinks with an ever-increasing acceleration, far-flung places, once useless, like we thought the North Pole was, and no man's land, become very useful.
You know what? You even got. Let's cut it down because we go too deep. We can't play the whole video, Mark. Look, you lean back. I hope he was saying he leaned back. He was ready to listen to Richard.
Hey, I was like, okay, where's the popcorn? Get some M&Ms in here,
But and look, so that man has seen it, right?
Right.
Now, what's he talking about? National. First of all, he said some little people. That tripped me out.
Right.
Did you not?
What little people?
Right.
Richard,
What little
what
people are you talking
about?
about? Right. And then he said it's about natural resources. So for me, it's very.
So there are people hoarding the natural resources?
I mean, bro, like, all right, let's just pretend, right? Make believe right now.
All right.
That the flat Earth map that we just showed is real. Okay. There were whole other continents outside certain levels of that after the ice levels. So
you're saying that there might be land that we haven't discovered?
Yeah, I really believe that. And look, this is me just with my natural eye, right? When I fly in planes, okay? First of all, and this is just, I'm just speaking as the devil advocate, the stuff that I found. When we fly, what are we flying?
An airplane.
Airplane, right? Not air circle, not air sphere, right? We fly air over a plane.
Right. So we are over a plane. What I'm saying, though, is that the Earth is so large to us, right? We are minuscule compared to how big the Earth is. So you're right. When we look at out the window of an airplane, you are seeing a plane. A flat.
How do the clouds look?
They look
flat.
But what I'm saying is,
as above, so below.
What I'm saying is the Earth is so big that it can be round, but what you're seeing is flat. But eventually, if you keep going, it'll come back around.
That's easy to say. It sounds good too. But how about this? I agree with you on the Earth is. I think the Earth is bigger than what we know too. I 100% agree with you on that. And I believe that. How high up? If we just broke down the different spheres, right? How high up is it? Is it the thermosphere where you could take a picture and see the real size of the Earth? Because most flat earthers, they don't believe the pictures from NASA, right? They don't believe. And me, again, that's easy for me to believe. Why? Because I work in Photoshop. I work in Lightroom. I know how easily a picture can be manipulated. I know how a video can be manipulated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
we see it all the time, but we don't see, you know what I'm saying? We see the finished product all the time.
Right. Like, look at one of the flat earth videos I watched. They were talking about, look at the Hollywood videos. Like, that's why Hollywood took so long to kind of stay
models.
away from. Yeah.
That's what I mean when we see it every day is like the models, they're like, they Photoshopped me or.
Oh, yeah.
So there, in certain industries, there is an admission to saying, yes, we have manipulated these photos or these videos in this way.
Right. But I mean, if you were to ask why would they keep it a secret, because that would be like the biggest question, right? Everybody, well, why would they lie to us? And to me, right? And we've said this in other episodes, you know, at your job, your boss don't tell you everything that's going on. All you know is what you know and what you need to know. All right. But if the company about to sell, they about to sell to a hole somewhere and they about to partnership, or if some shit going on that everybody don't need to know and they don't want people to panic, they don't tell them. You know what I mean? If we got access to a whole bunch of other lands and we the government and we can shut it down and y'all can't go past Antarctica.
Right.
Like we still, what's the area that nobody go into? Area 51?
Right. With the
We don't know
aliens.
shit about Area 51. And you gonna tell me that you know for sure that the earth is flat? I mean, round? Please. I don't know. I'm a man that know. I don't know. I ain't been to space.
I heard this one guy.
I'll tell you when I go.
On one of these videos, this guy was talking about how gravity does not exist.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
They say it. I mean, but that's tough. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They say gravity doesn't exist, and like because it's only up and down.
Right.
And that again, that goes into the flat earth where it's only up and down.
Oh man, I don't know.
Well, I mean, what you have I opened up your mind a little bit just off this little discussion? Because we never went into it. I was like, nah, I don't want to talk about it. Let's save it for the podcast. But that Richard Byrd is
I feel like, is it possible that there is other land out there? Yes. But my question is why, like I said before, why spend the money and the resources just to lie? That the Earth
natural
is,
resources. So and the more in that and the rest of that
like I said,
video.
why are you spending money and creating these rocket ships and like, oh yeah, we're going to outer space, like woo, you know, like
because look, this
oh,
the
and
thing.
the Earth is round. Like, why would they go
I think
through all that trouble? Why can't they just say, yo, the Earth's flat?
I mean, think about the history of like this whole race to the moon, right? Remember when that was a big thing and like what country was going to be there first? Like that's like an ego thing. Like what country going to be there first? Us or Russia, right? Who going to get there?
So you're telling me that if they discover the Earth is flat, they're not telling anybody?
I think if they discover the Earth is flat, like Richard Byrd said, it's a huge scientific discovery, and he said in the rest of that interview, we didn't play it, but he said they found enough natural resources to provide for the whole world. Okay, not a little bit of people. They said they found enough natural resources and crude oil to provide for the whole world.
So then that proves my point of this whole thing. All it does is come down to money.
It comes down to natural resources, money and natural resources.
Holding the resources so that you can make as much money as possible.
Speak to him, Marv. Speak to him, Marv. The Earth is flat.
I didn't say all that, but what I did say is that okay, I can see a little bit.
You kind of see a little. Now look, I'm gonna throw you another thing, because again, I'm just playing devil's advocate, because people will roast me. Look, Reggie, I don't know. I'm a man that a wise man knows he knows nothing.
Right.
I'm just saying I'm just saying it's possible, right?
Yeah.
So think about this. I'm gonna throw this on the screen. Boom. The yin and yang sign, right?
Right.
I think that's
everybody knows the yin and yang.
Everybody knows the yin and yang sign, right?
Yeah.
Right. We all know it's balance. You know, try to be balanced, whatnot. But what if the yin and yang sign was a symbol of how the sun and the moon travels?
Oh my gosh.
Think about it now. Think about that map I showed you, right? And if that little area in the middle, that little area is the continents and the land that we live on, and you got the ice cap, and then flat earthers say that the sun goes around. When you think the sun is setting off the horizon, it's just going further away from you, all right? And then coming back. And the moon does the same thing. That's why we can sometimes during the day you still see the moon,
right?
In a sunny day, right? Because they're kind of traveling each other. So if you look at the yin and yang, and you see how the light follows it, and they kind of just, what if that's the sun and the moon? And our ancestors was telling us through symbols.
I think that we need to get an astronomer in here immediately.
That's what we might have to have a part 2 to this.
We might have to have a part 2. We might
And
have to reach out to an astronomer or
Yes.
some type of space guy.
Yes. If anybody's
Or,
listening, if there's
know.
anybody that's if you work for NASA, right? If you
want to
are,
come on the show.
yeah, if you get majored in astronomy or whatever, and
We'd love to have you.
yeah, hear me out, because you heard my feelings, right? Again, I'm not saying I'm a flat earther. I just have an open ear for it. You know
Reg,
what I'm
where
saying?
can they reach out to us?
Where can I reach out to us?
Send us a Facebook.